there was a little horse nobody wanted. She was small, and she shook all the time. Her eyes? They darted away, scared of every hand that reached out to her. But then something changed. A little girl, just 8 years old, got lost. She was out there, alone, in miles and miles of dangerous, wild land. Who could bring her back home? Well, it was a scared little horse, who had the heart to try. The morning sun was casting long shadows across the old trading post. A man named Jack watched, feeling worse and worse. Another person had just looked at the little chestnut mare, shaking their head, and walked away. She stood in the corner of the pen, her head low, pressing her body against the fence, like she just wanted to disappear. Her coat was fine, but it didn't shine. And the way she jumped at sudden sounds, or backed away when someone came near with a rope, it worried everyone. Jack rubbed his chin, watching the town leader, Mayor Clara, ride up fast. Her horse was sweaty, and her face? Pure panic. She stopped suddenly, dust flying, and grabbed Jack's arm. Her voice was shaky, full of fear. "Emma's missing," she gasped. "She was playing by the creek while I was hanging clothes. I turned around, and she was gone. We've looked everywhere near the house. There's no sign." Jack's heart sank. An 8-year-old lost in all that wild land? It was terrifying. He knew how easy it was to get lost out there, especially for a child. Dangerous ravines, rocky cliffs, confusing paths. "How long?" Jack asked, already thinking hard. "Since mid-morning," Clara said, wiping tears away. Jack offered his 2 strongest horses, but as they prepared, Clara looked over and noticed the little mare watching them. Not hiding anymore, just watching. Something about her seemed different, alert. So, against every warning in his head, Jack found himself putting a saddle on the horse nobody wanted. The little mare trembled, but she didn't run. As they rode out to join the search, Jack talked to her softly, trying to calm them both. The other big, strong horses were obvious choices. But this little one? She was following them now, moving easily through rocky paths the bigger horses struggled with. And she seemed eager, like she knew where to go. Hours passed. Nothing. No sign. The sun was getting lower. And then the little mare broke free. She ran ahead, fast, down a canyon trail. Jack cursed, chasing after her. But when he caught up, he stopped. There she was, standing perfectly still, staring down into a narrow ravine. Her whole body was tense, focused. Jack looked down. At first, nothing. Then, wedged between some rocks, a flash of blue. Emma. She was hurt, unconscious maybe, but alive. But getting her out? That was the hard part. The ravine was steep, the rocks loose. And now, storm clouds were gathering. Rain started to fall. Jack didn't have the right ropes. It looked impossible. The big horses? Too big for the narrow space. Time was running out. Then, the little mare did something amazing. She walked right to the edge and started backing down. Carefully, finding tiny ledges with her hooves, she climbed down into the ravine. Slowly, so carefully, she made her way to the little girl. Emma woke up confused, scared, but seeing the gentle horse's face gave her some comfort. The mare lay down beside her, letting the hurt child get close. "I think she wants me to get on her back," Emma whispered, looking up. Jack's heart stopped. Could the little horse really carry Emma up that treacherous path? It seemed crazy. But what choice did they have? As Emma struggled to climb onto the mare's back, the storm got worse. And then they heard it, the howl of wolves. Getting closer. The scent of fear and blood was in the air. The little mare didn't panic. She started climbing, up the steep, loose rock wall, step by careful step. Emma held on tight. Once, a rock gave way and they nearly fell, but the mare pulled them back to safety. The wolves were getting closer, their eyes glowing in the dark. The mare moved faster now, but never lost her careful balance. Finally, the last stretch, a narrow gap between rocks, loose stones everywhere. A wolf was already partway up, but the mare pushed through. She scrambled over the final rocks, and there was Jack, reaching down, pulling Emma to safety. Emma was cold, wet, her ankle hurt badly, but she looked back at the little mare, who stood there, exhausted but proud. "She saved me," Emma whispered. "Nobody wanted her, but she saved me." The wolves howled below, frustrated. The storm raged, but the danger was over. Back at the ranch, there was so much joy. Emma was hurt, but okay. The doctor said her ankle would heal. And everyone was talking about the little horse. The rancher, Emma's dad, walked up to Jack. "That horse," he said, his voice full of emotion. "What would you sell her for?" Jack thought for a long, long moment. He looked at the mare, remembering how everyone had turned her away, how she'd been called too small, too nervous. Now, she stood tall, proud, a hero. "She's not for sale," Jack said, surprising himself. "After what she did today, she's earned her place." Emma, still in her mom's arms, reached out one more time. "Thank you for bringing me home," she said softly. The little mare stepped closer, letting the girl touch her muzzle, a bond made of courage and trust, sealed forever. The sun broke through the clouds, lighting up the happy scene. Jack realized that day that some beings are meant for more than just work. Some are here to show us that real heroism doesn't care about size. The little horse, once unwanted, was now remembered by everyone. She had found her purpose, the most important one of all. Moral: true courage and worth on about how big or strong you are. Sometimes the smallest heart holds the greatest bravery. Never judge someone by their appearance, because heroes come in all shapes and sizes. If you like this story, please share it with someone who needs to hear about courage and second chances. Let's celebrate the embers of the world.